everyone doing out there? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, races, and nations.
Creeds. There you go.
Creeds. One represents all. We the source wall.
We are the source
It's going down. How's everyone doing? Oh, we're in episode 10, by the way.
Yes.
Issue 10. Issue 10.
Issue 10.
Ooh, made it.
Double
I'm
digits.
so proud of us.
Yeah.
Double digits.
Yeah, we're good.
A decade old.
Yeah.
We're all...
You should. Yeah, you should know us by now.
Yeah. If you don't know, you better get to know.
I know.
Yeah,
Isha, content specialist. He's Rich. What are you wearing today, Rich? What t-shirt are you wearing?
Marvel. So
shamefully.
Well,
it's not shameful.
After the story, shamefully, I haven't got a Black Panther t-shirt, so I tried to get one, and they just weren't in. The ones I want wasn't in stock. I like the type of t-shirts I like is the old school comic,
the old faded ones.
Yeah. I don't like the gimmicky ones, and I'd rather have an old school comic cover. So there's one I actually like, but you got to order it online, and I wasn't going to get it in time. So
that takes long. I remember I bought a t-shirt. It was a Deathstroke one, and I was like, this is a sick print. And I wish I didn't buy it because they stuck Harley Quinn right next to it. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they did that. The annoying thing is, once Deathstroke's on TV, like in movies, there's just going to be a bunch of Deathstroke t-shirts.
Yeah.
They don't need Harley Quinn to just... It's like they only put her there, just be like, hey, Harley Quinn's here. You know who this... You know, whatever on that t-shirt. I'm always complaining about that t-shirt. Anyways, but... Hi, everyone.
What are you wearing, Isha?
Yeah.
I'm wearing my likable arsehole today because I feel like
you're a
I'm
likable
cold.
arsehole.
I am a likable arsehole for one, and it's cold, and I need to get some more comic book like hoodies. Like I love a good hoodie. Hoodie.
I need more comic book hoodies.
Yeah, I need to get some more. When we go Comic-Con, we'll get some.
I'm wearing my Walking Dead t-shirt.
Right.
I went to like a Walking Dead like a thing, you know, like where you run from zombies and shoot zombies. I went to one of those last year.
Did you? How was that?
It was sick. It was pretty sick. It was in South London. Was it South London or East London? I forget where it was, but it was pretty sick. If you do it, you get a free t-shirt. The woman tried to chief us. She tried not to give us the t-shirts. So my brother's like, there's supposed to be free t-shirts. And she's like, well, we only have extra larges left. We're like, yeah. Give us the t-shirts.
Yeah.
So
nice.
It was I saw my mate the other day, yesterday actually, and he was telling me about the it's like this Star Wars activity they've got where you kind of, it's a VR, you go into the VR and you're in a room. And it's an actual room, so while you're in the VR, you're walking around, you're in the lift, you can sit down and you're look around, you got your guns and you can shoot.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, it looks good.
Did you lot used to go to Trocadero in West End?
Please, she's trying to ask us this shit though.
No, I'm just checking. No, did you go to the aliens?
Yeah, we used to live there.
Yeah, we were.
Did you go on the aliens ride?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so sick. I went on with my dad. It was so funny. This woman, she got taken. I thought she was gonna shit herself. Like literally, because because you know they put you in the vehicle and they strap you in and they're like, the soldier's like, yeah, okay, cool, we're going. Oh my god! And then the alien dropped from the ceiling. Yeah, she was screaming, and no, it was so funny, but it wasn't funny because me and my dad were like, we are not getting taken. We're not getting taken.
I can't believe they closed that down. Like the whole thing.
No, I'm pissed.
That was so good. It was good. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I remember being a kid thinking, someday I'll bring my kids here.
Yeah.
No way, man. No. Do you know what? We used to go. They had a Wonder Park, which was on Windmill Street, and because they had all the Street Fighters and fighting games, and they had a pretty good not Formula One, but it was like the what was it called? Indie racing game with 5 players. You used to go there and play down there, and it was sick. They had the better games in Wonder Park, but then that closed. So we had to migrate to Trocadero.
Yeah.
The good thing about Trocadero, though, it had a bar upstairs and snooker and all that.
Yeah. I mean, I was
they
too
had
young
the
for
crane.
that.
That's all I cared about. Oh.
Yeah.
And they had Sega World on top of that as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sega World.
Good time.
What's going on? Trocadero. What are they turning that into now? Hotels?
I don't know. They've been working on that for a couple of years now, man.
I remember when they gutted it out and I just walked past it. My heart just sank.
Yeah, for real.
I took a picture of it, gutted out. I got it somewhere on one of my phones, one of my old phones.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That was me.
But anyways,
let's do this.
Let's get to the geeky shizzle.
Yes. Hi, viewers. By the way, thanks for joining us. Hi.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Yeah, sorry for that little tangent on London history.
Sorry.
So we will be talking about Black Panther. Definitely, we have to talk about that. But for those who haven't seen it, you can listen to the podcast, and then later on we'll tell you when we start talking about Black Panther. Pause it, go out, watch Black Panther, and then come back and listen to us, watch us, and bam,
Because we're gonna spoil the shit out of this, okay?
Spoil it.
Literally, okay.
Not that it can be spoiled.
No,
it's very right.
Boom.
Yeah.
Just like that. Go ahead.
All right, so let's go to Marvel news.
Everybody is calling this, because even when I put a picture up on my Instagram, even somebody said it, and I saw it before that. People are calling this Marvel's Rebirth. Like DC did DC Rebirth, they call it Marvel's Rebirth. I'm like,
Marvel should have had a rebirth. I keep saying this. They should have had their rebirth after Secret Wars. That's when they should have did their reset. But no, they kept it, got rid of Hickman, the sick storyteller.
Yeah.
And then just did all new, all different.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, some of it wasn't too bad. We had a female Thor, and we had Riri Williams, and like the characters. I don't mind the characters. One of the things I always loved about DC is that we had the Justice League, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and then they had proteges. There was like a next generation of heroes. That was I fell in love with that when DC had that, because obviously as a kid it was like, oh, I could be the next whatever. Do you know what I mean? I could. That's what you relate to.
Yeah.
But Marvel doesn't do that. And instead, and Marvel doesn't do that. So it's like they have, instead of just having, say, Riri Williams be Ironheart as like a someday she could be the next Iron Woman when she's older. They just flat out get rid of Tony Stark. That's my beef with what Marvel does.
Yeah. And with this new, so basically what's happening is Marvel's put out a trailer called Fresh Start.
Yeah. And
basically it's got, as you know, there Riri Williams is Iron Man now. Jane Foster, she's Thor. Who else is there? You've got Wolverine, who's
Old
dead.
Man Logan.
Yeah, Old Man Logan. Jean Grey, she was dead. She was young, and now she's back alive.
Yeah,
wow.
Again. How long she been dead
Wolverine's
now?
come back. She's been over 10
years, right? Yeah.
Yeah. She's been dead for so many years.
Again,
but she's back now.
Oh, great! Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, she's back.
She's back. Wolverine's gonna be back. They're gonna be happy together. Scott's dead.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Can Scott not catch a break? Like, oh, bless him.
When did they killed him off? They killed him off in that stupid show. I found my comic book of it as well. Inhumans versus X-Men or whatever it was.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hated that. That was horrible.
That was terrible.
You should have burned it.
Yeah. I was sick and tired of Marvel trying to push Inhumans down my throat.
I know. Tell me about it.
I don't want no Inhumans, man.
Yeah.
Mutants or mutate.
Actually, it's something we'll talk about a little bit later after a couple more things.
Fair dues. But anyways.
So with the new fresh start from Marvel, you're going to have new direction for the characters, new titles, and new creative teams. They say it's new, but I think it's just people moving around to different titles. Yeah. So Jason Aaron at the moment, who's on Thor, he's apparently going to be moving to Avengers, and there's only going to be one Avengers book as well. So with this Avengers book, they're saying moving forward, they want it to show the landscape of the Marvel universe. So he'll bounce. You was talking to me about Marvel Legacy the other day. You remember?
Yeah.
You just recently read that. That was basically a one shot, and it's got like the Avengers from BC.
Yeah, they're Odin and Phoenix Force and them.
Yeah. So you got the Odin, Phoenix Force, the very first Black Panther, the very first Iron Fist. And the very first Ghost Rider.
Yeah. And then that other character who I'm not sure if he's new or not. He's got
was that Star Brand?
Yeah, that's it. I don't know him too well.
He's new. He came in when Hickman was writing it. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So they brought out Legacy, and that was a one issue, and that was a start, and that was when Wolverine came back from the dead. Yeah. So basically with the new again. Yeah. So basically with the new Avengers, they're going to be going from present time and back to BC as well. So we're going to learn more about those characters, which sounds interesting.
That does sound, because I wouldn't mind learning about them, especially Odin having his own crew of Avengers back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
And plus, it's being written by Jason Aaron as well. So
yeah, you know it's going to kick ass then.
Yeah. The only thing about this, well, quite a few things, like we were saying, that Wolverine's back, Jean Grey's back, even Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner's
back. Yeah.
Bruce Banner's back now.
Although the thing is, it's annoying. But yeah, they're back, and at the time I didn't actually agree with that Wolverine's death. I was like, all right. I wouldn't say I minded it when Wolverine died. We had Laura Kinney, and then they brought in Old Man Logan. I didn't agree with Bruce Banner's death at all, or at least with the way it happened. With the way it happened, I was like, what kind of hell kind of death is that? And then who else? Jean Grey, I don't care either way, to be honest. It's like this whole legacy thing is like some of it I agree with and some of it I don't. I don't know, man. It's just Marvel's reaching. I feel like when people used to say that superheroes were the trope of like, how did they phrase? There was like a phrase. It was like white, muscly white men or something like that. I feel like they're going back to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big strong white men. And I'm like,
yeah, they have an opportunity to be, like you said, like they have an opportunity to do new and exciting characters, or I don't know, descendants of characters, or I don't know, like really good maybe spin-offs of how all these mutants have affected other mutants, you know what I mean, or other civilians
characters,
even. You know what I mean. So you can build on so many different stories, but like just recycling it's long. And then trying to move people with chess pieces is long. It gets boring.
Exactly.
If you look at the image that they've released of like the characters that they're focusing on, this is another thing that I don't like that Marvel does. I can't say, I suppose the only reason DC doesn't do it is because their movies, they suck. Except for the nice mug, by the way. Except for their animated movies.
Their animated got me this mug.
Nice, anyway, the image is basically you got Ant-Man and Wasp. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
And then you've got Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is getting a season 2 right now. Black Panther, we all know that movie's kicking ass. What else have they got? Who else is on that image?
Thor with a golden arm.
So they've gotten rid of Jane Foster. And then it's basically
like Jean Grey.
But it's like the ones that they've chosen, ones like Ant-Man and Wasp, and it's like because they DC, Deadpool, he's getting a movie. His second movie.
Venom's in there.
Venom and Captain Marvel, they're getting a movie. It's like the characters who are Miles Morales is getting a movie, even though it's animated. It's like
is he in the photo though?
Yeah, he is. He's in the top left corner.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's like these.
Strange,
the characters that have like had great movies or getting movies.
Yeah, true.
Or TV shows. Are the ones go on.
Even Gambit's in it.
Oh, fuck off! No, dead.
You know what? I saw him there, and I was like, "Why?"
It's dead. That hurt my feelings. Like
even She-Hulk. Oh look, Punisher's in there. He's just had a great TV show. Luke Cage, obviously.
It's catering to
the mainstream fans. Do you know what I mean? It's like the mainstream fans that weren't reading comics. Now they're watching. Everyone there?
Hey, there was a bit of technical difficulties
there. Is everyone back?
I'm back.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Did I disappear or did you?
I think we all disappeared from each other.
Okay.
I was like, oh man.
I was just
I'm gonna have to carry the show by myself.
You know when you're suddenly like, oh, okay, I've got to talk for a little while now. Okay, but yeah.
No, I was just saying.
Back. Okay, never mind. Go.
I was just saying. How is this thing not? I was just saying basically that it's like you got the mainstream fans.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's like these mainstream fans were watching the TV shows and they're going to the cinema. They knew nothing of comics, and now Marvel's like, okay, now we've got them. Let's bring them to comics, and we'll make all the comics about these particular shows and movies instead of doing what they were doing. I mean, that happened with Guardians of the Galaxy. If I'm real, I'll be real. The only time I knew about the Guardians of the Galaxy was from that Avengers cartoon. Yeah. And I completely forgot about them because they were in one episode. So when the movie came out, I was like, who? I didn't know about them. And now they ended up getting their own comics. I remember I didn't read Civil War 2, but I kept up with it. And I remember a scene, was it an issue I read? And I remember, I think it was Tony Stark and Peter Quill. They were like, hey, I thought we were supposed to be friends. Why are we fighting? And then Peter Quill's like, well, I'm friends with such and such. So I'm like, wait, when were you friends? When were you friends?
Yeah, we missed that episode.
So it's like, I just don't like that they're not catering to us fans that have been reading comics since the 90s, 80s, 70s, those fans backwards. It's like anyone who's a fan of Marvel since 2007. Is that when Iron Man came out? 2005, 6, 7?
It's about 2008, I think it was.
Yeah, those are the fans.
10-year anniversary.
Those are the fans that Marvel are catering for, and I just don't agree.
The thing is, I don't mind, kind of, but don't change the whole story or what you've got going on for that. Yeah. Like that's it. It seemed like they did that with Secret Wars. They were going somewhere, and the story was good. It was built up for so many years.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like they were going somewhere, and then suddenly, bam! No, we're not doing that. And it's really apparent when they do things like that. Like even with the all new, all different, when they had that title. They wanted to change it, but nothing's really different about it. It's all the same. It's
all the same.
And now they're doing this again. They said they don't want to do any more event issues. They had Civil War 2, which was rubbish.
I don't know why. But see, they're saying they don't want to do any more event issues. It's like it's again they're copying the movies. The only reason
exactly.
The only reason Civil War 2 happened in the first place was because Captain America Civil War was on its way out, and I just thought, come on, do better than that. There's an event coming. I swear it's cool. It's got something to do with Infinity something. I keep seeing it in the pages of Marvel Comics.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, so because Infinity War's coming out, we've got this happening. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. No.
What's it called? I forgot the name of it. Infinity. Yeah,
we'll get it back. It's all right.
So yeah,
okay, what's next?
So yeah, that's it with fresh old.
Fix up Marvel.
It looks sharp, man. They have to look sharp now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so next thing, New Mutants. So we know that's been pushed back. It was supposed to be out in April this year, but it's been pushed back to February 2019.
Okay. Kind of glad because the trailer wasn't doing anything for me, but okay.
Yeah, so people were saying that it's a bad thing they've done. But Maisie Williams, who's in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Who did she play?
Who did she play? Arya Stark?
Oh, Arya Stark,
yeah.
So she's playing Wolfsbane in New Mutants.
That might be interesting.
Yeah.
She's going to harry her up.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
That'd be sick. I would love to see that. That would make me go see it.
Yeah, exactly.
They just Wolverine her up.
Well, it's a horror film, so it's supposed to be a horror.
Yeah. Do you know
she's basically saying that it's for the better that they actually hold it back, because it would give them better time to like make it better, and
it can't hurt.
Yeah, she said, actually, I think it's for the better. I think it's good that we've got more time. We're not so strapped up against it. It gives us time. It gives me time to get to know the project once it's finalized. Films take a different shape after you finish shooting and after that they've edited it. Sometimes you wish a movie, and with score, etc., it's a completely different film than the one you had in mind. So it kind of makes sense, but
to be honest, this is like a mangold X-Men universe thing, though, isn't it?
Exactly. That's the thing about it.
I'm not trying to get excited for this. Like, I'm not even going to see. Are you not going to see the X-Men?
I'll still see it. I'll still see it.
I ain't paying money for that.
What?
I'm not paying money for that. You know the one that's going to have the Phoenix in it. See, they brought Jean Grey back. I didn't even clock to that. They brought Jean Grey back. Anyways,
that's why. Yeah. Are you lot's cameras on?
Mine is,
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh. Your one's on as well.
Oh.
Yours is on.
Oh, okay. I can only see myself. I can't see you two. But anyway, okay, carry on.
So yeah, that's that. I think. Yeah. I mean, I hope it's a good thing. I hope it's good. But yeah. Anyway, so next thing, Moon Girl. Have you guys heard of Moon Girl? And the Devil Dinosaur? Yeah,
I haven't read any of her stuff yet, but she's a cute little. I like her characters like her and Squirrel Girl, because they're not your typical Marvel characters.
Yeah,
they could
adorable.
They could easily be like from Valiant Comics or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah. So anyway, what about her?
So they're doing a animated series.
Okay.
So animated series is in the works. So she's an Inhuman as well for just hearing. But basically, it's Lawrence Fishburne's developing the project through Cinema Gypsy Productions.
I thought you were going to say Lawrence Fishburne's daughter.
I was just about to make the joke. I was going to say, is his daughter playing the? I was going to make the joke. I was like, you know what? Don't say nothing. For those of you that don't know, Google Lawrence Fishburne's daughter.
I mean, no disrespect. Job's a job, in it. I just thought she maybe took a career turn and was like, maybe I'm gonna stop making adult films and actually make, comic book adult films. Anyway, so
you know what? If this was to come out, any cartoon that comes out from Marvel, like, I'm not on it anymore. If you look at them in terms of their production, it just decreases. So you got the 90s cartoons, and then like even the last season of the X-Men, the production was horrible. And then we got if you look at Spider-Man, for example, you got the 90s Spider-Man that looks really, really good, even though they reused a lot of scenes. Then they got Spectacular Spider-Man, which, the animation was good, but they used like a more childish friendly and easier detail sort of thing. And then you look at Ultimate Spider-Man, same thing. And then if you look at the Spider-Man they've got now, you're like, there aren't even shadows. Like, it doesn't look finished.
Yeah. Exactly.
It looks mad.
But yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was reading about it. But I think the thing with this, it kind of suits the character, that kind of animation, because she's 9 years old. And
that's true.
And she's got a dinosaur from the Savage Land.
Yeah.
So, and so it kind of it's the atmosphere is what you kind of expect.
Yeah.
Hopefully the stories are good and it can carry it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you like you said with the animation, if you're watching something like Guardians of the Galaxy or Spider-Man and or X-Men, and you're watching it and the animation is so childlike, then it puts you off. Especially coming on after you've watched the X-Men animated series from the 90s and Spider-Man from the 90s.
I don't think their stuff has been good since their animation, since I would say Wolverine and the X-Men, which I'm sad I didn't get finished, and Avengers. whatever. Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I understand. I'm not going to go into it, but I can understand why you don't like it.
Yeah.
You understand why you don't like it. We don't need to go into it now.
No. That's for another tangent.
We need to do it. We need to do a show and stuff like this, though. Like they're just waiting for us to be critiqued.
Yeah, defo. Yeah. Maybe when just before or just after Deadpool, we can do the whole Fox and X-Men.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Kind of thing.
We could do like a month. So say we did movies and then animations and then yeah. Anyway,
so just quickly with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. If you don't know about her, she's a 9-year-old super genius, the most intelligent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's the most intelligent character in the Marvel universe
currently, because Reed Richards and her kids aren't there. His kids aren't there.
Oh, yes.
Is she more intelligent than Shuri?
Shuri, yeah. Shuri, I think in the comics, Shuri ain't that smart. But anyway, that's not as smart as she's portrayed in the movies anyway.
Okay, cool. All right, done. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Moon Girl, she's quite a new character. She first appeared in Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur in January 2006. So I'm sure you can still find her book if you want to get to know her.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's it with that.
All right.
DC news. Some DC.
DC
news. Aquaman changes. I'm not too sure about Aquaman myself. I'm not really fully on the Aquaman characters. So Aquaman changes Mera to King Nereus's daughter. Apparently, they were lovers in the comics, right?
I know Aquaman. And Mera are lovers. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah, I weren't too sure about that either.
I'm like, what, are they turning her into a dude? I'm like, what?
So basically, her and Nereus, who's actually played by Dolph Lundgren, he's going to be.
So is this happening in the movie?
Yeah, in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on a second. Let me read this. Aquaman changes Mera to King Nereus's daughter. Not lover. Oh, okay. So this character, Dolph Lundgren's character, they were lovers in the comics.
Yeah,
but they're making this character her dad.
Yeah.
I don't think the fans are gonna like that.
No.
I don't know.
That's cringe.
That's like. There must be an example. There's an example out there, but wherever the example is, that's like doing that.
Yeah.
Some Game of Thrones stuff.
No, that's not. Ooh, that's. Oh well. I mean, if you're gonna make a DC film bad or worse, sir, then
we're getting rid of Scott Snyder to make this better. Like, what are you doing?
Obviously not, because now she's gonna have sex with her dad. Great.
Yeah. So, anyways. After that, some actually interesting news on the DC solicitation front.
Some heartbreaking news.
News, yeah. So for May 2018, they will be cancelling some titles such as Supergirl, Teen Titans, and Super Sons.
Do you know what? With Titans, I feel like because in Titans right now, the Justice League has come with their fast cells and disbanded the Titans. And I'm like, why are you not letting them do this? You're grown folk. Like, anyway. And and they're not really doing anything. Roy's off trying to fight on his own. Dick Grayson, I suppose, is doing Nightwing comics. And Wally West has the odd cameo in the Flash. He's not really doing anything. And it's been like 2-3 issues of this, and I'm like, where are you taking this comic right now? And then I find out in May that May's not that far away. So I'm like, you're gonna drag this out all the way till it's cancelled. I'm like,
yeah,
wow,
it's so out of order.
That's
and
sad.
When it started off, it had so much promise because Wally West, who came back, which I'm still excited about, and I remember, I think I brought this up on a previous podcast when they read their villain's mind, and they got one name. The name they got was Manhattan, and they've been teasing Dr. Manhattan for ages. And I thought Titans would have like a bigger role to play with this whole thing, and now you're canceling it.
Yeah.
On the eve of like, or on the dawn, sorry, of Doomsday Clock. Nah.
Oh
well, that's a shame. Super Sons is good as well.
I like Super Sons. I need to catch up on it myself as well.
Yeah, I need to catch up.
That's been a good title.
Definitely.
DC title.
One of their rebirths. It's I would say it's probably one of the best DC rebirths that they've released.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know who's not buying it. I suppose I'm not buying it. But I'm just one guy. Come on, man. I can't buy all the comics.
You make up half the geek quota.
No, come on.
Man,
if you lot ain't buying Super Sons, pick up some Super Sons.
Yeah.
It's a really good read. And they're like a fun little duo, those two. They really are.
Yeah, they are. They're well funny as well.
Yeah, they play off each other so well. Well, that's a shame. Supergirl, I haven't read Supergirl since she came back before the New 52. So...
yeah, I haven't read Supergirl either. I did try to read some of Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good when I started. I only read two. I think I read 2 issues.
I read the first. Was it the first arc? And I got bored. It was basically when they brought. There was this thing where this guy had brought back the Joker, the original Joker.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it, but I didn't really like it. No, man. It wasn't the Joker.
Okay.
No, wait. No,
was it like the animated series? Because they did that in the
they did that in Return of the Joker. Hang on, was it the Joker? I think it was the Joker's body. No, it wasn't. I can't. Anyway, it just turned out to be rubbish, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this, and I didn't like the suit, and whatever.
With Batman Beyond, there should be a new Robin, actually.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne's other son.
Yeah.
You know about that?
Oh, Lord.
No, I don't.
All right, real quick thing. Terry McGinnis is actually Bruce Wayne's son. Did you watch?
I didn't.
You need to watch the Justice League animated movies, man. He's Bruce Wayne's son because Amanda Waller injected Terry McGinnis's dad with overwrit his genes with Bruce's DNA because she believed that there needed to be a Batman something. He was going to orchestrate Terry's parents' death, but the killer didn't go through with it. But Terry's dad ended up dying anyway. And if you look, both of Terry's parents have red hair, but Terry has black hair like Bruce Wayne, and so does his little brother.
Sounds like episodes of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, for real.
They're just like, oh.
So they are both. They're basically Damian Wayne's little brothers.
Oh wow! You know what? I might actually have to go back and read it then.
Yeah.
Is Damian Wayne in the new Batman Beyond then?
I think he's made a cameo recently. I haven't read it. I think I heard that he's supposed to. I saw a caption on Instagram where Terry McGinnis asked what happened to Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
Why did he stop being Robin? So I think.
Oh, there's a story behind that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna show up soon at some point. But again, I'm not reading it. If I feel bothered, I might collect the odd graphic novel here and there.
Yeah.
But or if they introduce Damian Wayne, maybe I'll collect from there and duck out when it's done or something. But whatever.
Okay.
But yeah,
viewers, tell us what you think.
But
if you've watched it, tell us.
Terry's little brother being Robin, he's just taking on the family business, man.
Yeah.
He was destined to be a Robin or a Batman or a new Nightwing. Like it's his destiny. He's the son of Batman.
Destiny.
Yeah, he is the son of Batman.
Wow.
You don't know about Amanda Waller. Like she's ruthless.
She is ruthless. I only really know her from the animated cartoons.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, she was pretty bad.
Yeah,
as well.
The few times that I think she was probably one of the best things about the Suicide Squad movie. Actually, she just had that attitude.
Yeah.
She brought Amanda Waller to life, and I was like, yeah, she's the best thing. But too bad the movie was just, yeah. But anyway,
You said earlier that you read Birds of Prey, right? Batgirl and the Birds of Prey.
I read some of it, and I've got the first graphic novel. I can't remember what story, because there was a storyline going on that I read. So I started collecting the single issues, and I've recently bought the first graphic novel, but I haven't started it yet. Why'd you ask?
Oh, well, because that's one of the series that's going to be cancelled as well.
That's a shame, because that's a really cool group that they put together. Like it really is, and they've got a new Oracle.
Synopsis.
It's just I remember years ago, Batgirl was shot by the Joker, and she became Oracle, and then we had Black Canary and Helena Bertolini, who's Huntress, and they were the Birds of Prey. And obviously now Batgirl is back. Barbara Gordon is Batgirl again. We've got Huntress and Huntress and Black Canary again, and they're basically the Birds of Prey for the DC Rebirth. And they've got this guy who's their new Oracle, and they go around doing Birds of Prey stuff. I haven't read much. Yeah, I haven't read much of it, but what I have read was really good. There was an issue of Nightwing where they teamed up. They teamed up with Nightwing and Green Arrow. Okay. Nightwing was after a villain, and they were after the same villain. And this woman was stealing. That was Birds of Prey. This woman was basically stealing powers. She was stealing metahuman powers. So they all teamed up to capture this person. But it's really good. It's a fun team dynamic. If you don't always want to read guys, and you want to read something other than Justice League or Teen Titans or Titans, it's a nice kind of change, and it's still centers around Gotham City. So,
man like Josh. So our fourth member he's joined us.
Man scooting in road, fam.
You're scooting in road.
I couldn't miss out. I've been away for like a couple of weeks, innit? So
I know, like.
And I was like, man's gonna be back, but then I had emergency
Black Man
rehearsals.
time, and this is like late.
BMT.
It's late.
I know, right?
Late.
Yeah, but I was like,
Kieran was.
Oh no, the pop after me. I gotta go.
Okay, bye.
No, I'm joking.
Okay. But yeah, Kieran, you were saying, like, you're wrapping up on the Birds of Prey.
Basically saying it's just a good read if you want something, if you want a different kind of team.
Yeah.
You know, and their team dynamic is actually a lot of fun to read as well.
Ooh,
so that's
nice.
You know, Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, Helena Bertolini, Huntress, and she only just recently took up being Huntress again in DC Rebirth because she was running a group called Spiral, which was like this under undercover spy agency. She was running it, and Dick Grayson was part of it at the time as well. And when he left, he became Nightwing again. She left and became Huntress and joined the Birds of Prey. And then you got what are they called in Black Canary in Rebirth? Actually, whatever Black Canary's name, Dinah Drake or Laurel Lance, whatever her name is. That's the three of them.
Okay,
but give it a read.
Pretty heavy team.
It is pretty sick, and I can't remember who the new Oracle is. But it's like this little black kid, not a little black kid, but this black kid.
Cool, blackness. Viewers, if you've been reading it, watching it, let us know what you think, or like we might have to do a little challenge. Maybe you have to read that.
Do you know what? That would be if DC was to do an animated series, that would make a good animated series or one of their animated movies. Birds of Prey. I think that's something they're missing out on there. That'll be a lot of fun. Without having Batman as a cameo, just do Birds of Prey. That'd be cool.
I'd love to see that. I doubt he'll do that though.
Yeah.
He'll probably set them up.
Yeah, well,
you don't need a setup.
I would especially like a Birds of Prey after getting gassed for that last live action Birds of Prey they done, and I was like, "Ooh, Birds of Prey," and it was like, the worst thing ever. Those shows where you want it to be that show, like Mortal Kombat Conquest. Yeah, and you was like, yeah, you want to see all them main guys and and then jack shit happens, and you're like, this is the worst show ever. I would love for them. I would love for them to do Birds of Prey and come back and like do it properly.
You only made one
season
really good as well.
Only
one. You can buy it. I remember I contemplated buying it on DVD. It's back in the day when it was about streaming wasn't around back then. I think we had like iMesh and BitTorrent, and streaming wasn't as good back then. So
Yeah.
I contemplated buying it, but couldn't get it on Region 2, so I was like, I'll forget this. I didn't buy it. But I'm glad I didn't. I don't think it's worth it. I've seen like the odd episode. I remember one, it shows flashbacks of, because in that, Barbara Gordon again is in the wheelchair and she's Oracle.
Yep.
Harley Quinn is the main villain. They show the Joker and they show Batman, but they're not the
like
main.
Some weird cameo.
Yeah. Although good, they
did
get Luke Skywalker to voice the Joker when he was in it, so he wasn't physically there. But
we like him. We like his Joker voice.
Yeah, he's dope.
Best Joker voice, fam.
Yeah.
For me, best Joker, hands down.
That's what I was gonna say.
He is the best Joker.
Yeah, he is the best Joker.
He's the Joker, fam.
Same as Kevin Conroy is the best Batman. I don't care about these live action ones. These two. Where people are like, no, Christian Bale. I'm like, you don't know Batman.
Christian Bale. That's an insult to
people
life.
Say it. People say it.
No, that's rude. That's
anyway,
rude.
moving on. What's next?
Yes, moving on. Sorry.
So the next one, speaking of Jokers, actually, the Joker, the original movie that they're set to make, is actually going to be shooting very soon.
Ooh.
And Joaquin Phoenix is still interested in the project, so has the Joker.
Do you know?
I think really he's just down because it's an excuse for him to be like his method acting. Man's gonna go crazy. Be like, you thought Jared Leto was bad? Wait till I start. Remember when he done that thing with the whole bid? I'm gonna be a rapper, and everyone thought it was real.
Oh yeah,
Man's gonna go out, kill 20 people, and then no guys, I'm just method acting. It's not real. Whatever.
I don't want
real
him
life
to
joking,
do it.
You know what?
No.
I was harsh on DC when they said that they were going to do a Batman movie, like these movies that had nothing to do with the DCEU. But I'm kind of giving it a chance because no one's that they're Elseworld stories. So this is where the main fans will get confused. The mainstream fans will get confused because there are going to be two Jokers in the cinema. Because I think Jared Leto is still coming. He's going to be doing the Harley Quinn and Joker movie.
Oh, man.
Does that my head already?
When you say that, I'm like, how your head's hurt, but no one went to see none of them films, so really, no one's going to be confused. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's not going to have anything to do with anything. So they're going to do the Joker movie. No, go on.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I think what DC needs to do, which they still haven't fully done, is clarify what their movie/movie universe is. Because all they've done is that everyone was calling it the DCEU for ages, for months and months and months and months, maybe even a couple of years or whatever. And then they came out and went, oh, it's not actually called that. We never officially said it's called the DCEU. That was you lot. So,
yeah.
Right, really, it's not even connected. And then they go, oh yeah, we're going to do some other films, but they're not connected. Connected to what? What are they not connected to? You haven't said what it's called. Like the DC movie universe or whatever. I think they did drop an official DC film universe something. It was called something. It was DCFU. That literally, like fuck you. That's
what they called it.
DCFU. Yeah. DC film universe. But like, say for example, if they came out and said we're going to release a series of films called Elseworld, and they're all Elseworld stories that don't happen in the main thing, and these are what they're going to be, then I would know. Elseworlds. These are all part of the Elseworlds series.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind if they did that.
Yeah, so, the thing is,
do that.
That's what this Joker movie is going to be. It's going to be an Elseworld story. And I was actually watching.
Are we doing hashtag Elseworld?
I was watching the animated movie Batman Gotham by Gaslight, which is sick. And I was thinking, watch it seriously.
I haven't watched it yet.
And I was thinking,
I've read the comics, but I haven't watched the film.
Yeah. I was thinking this would be a really sick live action movie if done right. And I was thinking this could be what DC does. I was thinking, say instead of trying to make a DC universe like an MCU, if they just took random stories from their catalog and made them as movies instead of just trying to make a whole cohesive thing. That might work for them. If they we're gonna do Justice League New Frontier as a movie, or Justice League something of Babylon, Tower of Babylon, or whatever it's called. Tower of Babel. Yeah, if they did that as a movie, or Gotham City Sirens, just I think they are doing Gotham City Sirens.
Yeah,
anyway.
but because even in those, that's a good point, because even in those, when you do a sequel, it can be connected to its movie, so it doesn't have to be a whole in-universe thing, but the stories can still continue.
Yeah.
Like, what was the one? There was one before Tower of Babel, which it happened like years and years before, but basically some shit happened with the Justice League, and then Batman said, I'm going to put a protocol in place to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And then he went out, and then Tower of Babel, some people think Tower of Babel was he just went and done that to be precautionary, but it wasn't. It was because something happened, so he went back to make sure that if this happens again, I've got a way of stopping the Justice League or whatever. So say, for example, if it started with that story and then it went to Tower of Babel, I'd be like, no.
But yeah, wait.
Yeah, I don't know what that one was.
I can't remember, but it would work if DC did their movies like that. But anyway, moving on. Moving on. We're going over time.
All right.
What is next?
The last one before we get into the big one is DC's Titan TV series has found the Doom Patrol member Elastigirl. So the lady called April Bowlby. She's in Drop Dead Diva and 2.5 Men.
Which 2.5 Men? Before or after?
I don't know.
Well, she in the last. That's one of the ones where she was in one episode and she's credited as 2.5 Men because people go, oh yeah, 2.5 Men, I know that. But really, she was like my man's girlfriend for like one episode, fam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Okay.
Oh, go on. Sorry, go on, Rich.
No, I was just gonna say. So yeah, she's gonna be. So Doom Patrol is definitely in the Titan series, which is
nice.
I think that's wicked. I think that's good.
Definitely.
She may be appearing in episode 5. Yeah. So that's pretty good news, I think.
Are they gonna bring her in? I suppose you don't know, but I'm wondering if they'll introduce her first. I don't know if she goes to the Titans like Beast Boy. We need you and your team, and then they introduce the rest of them.
I'd rather the Titans need them. And
actually, that would make more sense.
They meet Beast Boy there, and something happens to
then he switches
Doom Patrol. Maybe something happens to Doom Patrol, and he's got nowhere else to go. So
you know that could happen. Because I was researching them today, and apparently they've got different rosters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that would work.
They're kind of like, well, that's the thing about when they first came out, they had their run, but then right at the end of the run, spoilers, but
spoilers,
they all pretty much died.
Yeah.
So
everybody loves it dead in DC.
I think that would be pretty sick if they brought this Titan series out, and everyone's getting hyped about Doom Patrol, and right at the end.
Kill them off.
Kill them off, man. Kill them off.
You know what, real quick, I was like, looking up, because I saw the name Elastigirl, and I was like, was that her name? Because I never remembered her name. I was like, I swear that was incredible. So I literally...
I know, I was like...
Yeah.
I Googled, I was like, oh, snap, she was Elastigirl. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I suppose you can only have so many superhero names.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could have thought of something like, I don't know.
Well, what would you call her? Like...
Elasta Woman?
Yeah, Rubber Girl. That doesn't sound right.
Elastic Girl.
Rubber Girl.
Stretch.
Elastic Woman.
Yeah, stretch ting. I think we should come up with like some
stretch
ting.
There you
go.
That's not working.
Yeah.
Not working.
Okay, maybe I'll just shorten it like EW or EAW. I don't know.
An acronym.
We'll think. Yeah.
Elastic Girl's cool, man.
I'm not complaining about it. I was just surprised.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So if anyone wants to know about Elastigirl or read up on her first appearance was in My Greatest Adventure issue 80, 1963. So you might have to dig deep for that one.
Dig into the archives, people.
Internet.
Okay, so this is the big subject now that we're gonna move on to.
Black Panther spoiler.
Yay, Black Panther, yeah.
Have you not seen it?
Man still ain't seen it yet, fam.
Oh my gosh.
Man still ain't seen it.
Just
life in it, but.
Alright, so if for
you
anyone
lot
who's
can spoil away. You lot can spoil away. I'll do a disappearing. He's gone.
We'll do spoilers in a bit, but we'll just say some facts about Black Panther. So stick around if you haven't watched it yet. Stick around, and then we'll tell you when the spoilers come. But we're just gonna go through some pretty amazing facts. Fun facts. So basically, internationally, Black Panther's hit over the 3 days in the US. It hit $192 million dollars. So that's bloody big. It's pretty big.
He's top 5 now, isn't it?
Actually,
I swear it's number 1. I swear Marvel put up on Instagram that that's their number 1 selling movie.
Yeah.
No, I mean of all.
No, he's top 5 of all time.
All time. He's top. I think he's top 4 or 5, one of the two. So when was
he's
that? Creeping. I swear I saw it today or yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was. Yeah, I think he was top 5 yesterday. So I don't know whether he's crept up. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So with the States, it took 192, and then internationally, it's taken 169. So altogether, over the 4-day weekend, it's taken 387 in total.
Nice.
You know, I mean, Justice League alone made 228 in the 13 weeks it was out.
Fuck it, Justice League.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Deadpool took 158 in the February, so it smashed that record. Avengers took 207 in the first 3 days. When it first came out, so
that says a lot.
Yeah. It does say a lot.
It does say a lot. You know what? Yeah, I was watching a different show, and they were saying like when you're black and you're told like movies with you in it won't sell.
Don't sell.
You're not marketable.
Your makeup line for black people don't sell.
Really?
Yeah, put black people in the film and black people go to the cinema.
Yeah.
Who's money in the cinema? It's like a Christmas miracle. We never thought that would work.
So I mean, I would like to hope that this is not just like a fad or a trend that will kind of decrease. That there's more of it.
I think they just need to have more films that are more upbeat and not.
Yeah, no, I agree, because all those movies is like, this is what happens was like when you were slaves, and this is what happened when.
I didn't want to say it. That's what I was
you're a gangbanger, or you're a crackhead,
or you're a gangbanger or something like that. And I'm like, you know what I mean?
I always say this. Where is our Mansa Musa film?
Yes.
Mansa Musa.
What? Mansa Musa. He was like
he was a Tony Stark back in the day.
He was a king.
Well, he was.
Very good. Out on road.
Someone was gonna do a Huey movie. You know Huey, from the Black Panthers.
Huey P. Newton.
Yeah.
That's his name. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, they're supposed to be doing one. The guy, obviously, like proper doing a biopic of him.
Even that, I wouldn't want to see, because it's that same. The movies where they're either fighting for rights or we don't have rights. I'm like done. I want to see.
It's always like some kind of black issue in a black movie.
It's
never just a movie. It's never just a movie.
I get that.
Like even. Go on.
Okay, no.
You get that?
Oh. Yeah, good.
So I was gonna say, because even like other films, like if you think of literally the market of like black films, is like literally weird rom-coms with Tay Diggs in it, and it's the same script, slightly different cast.
Yeah.
Or the sequel, Why Did I Get Married? Why Did I Get Married Too? Which gets a little bit of box office buzz for like a week and then dies out or whatever, and all your black friends know about it, and you go to get your hair did and it's on in the hairdresser or some shit, and then that's it. There's never like, there's no blockbuster film. There's no films like about a spy that's black and even this fucking whole Idris Elba be James Bond. I want Idris Elba to be James Bond. James Bond's a white man. You know what I'm saying? Give me a black spy. Give me a black spy with a different story. Changing someone else and just going, this guy's black now. I don't want that. I want something original.
I wanted Idris Elba to play what was his name? He's in the James Patterson books. He was a banging detective, but they made Morgan Freeman play him.
Is it Cross?
Yes,
is it
Alex Cross? Yeah,
Alex Cross. Yeah.
I wanted Idris Elba to play Alex Cross. That would have been amazing. But no, I was saying, obviously they might do like an actual Black Panther movie. But then I'm hoping this like Black Panther the movie sparks us having different genres, because at the moment, obviously, we're being pigeonholed into one genre of either you're a slave and you die, or you're a crackhead and you die, or you're a gangbanger and you die. Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? I'm hoping this kind of draws out all the
we
black
can be
geeks
heroes,
and
we can be the doctors, we can be the spy,
all the anime that I've been seeing of like black companies that I've been trying to get up, when they're doing like anime, when they're doing cartoons, when they're doing like just films. Remember that video I showed you with the black kung fu? In like shit like that. I want to see more. I'm hoping that there's more variety coming out now that this is hopefully going to be, you know what I mean, in sparking something in people. So yeah, man.
I would even like us to take back the dance film and not have it be two white folks.
Oh my god! In the rain.
And save the city sense. Like even that, like even dance film. I'm like, oh yeah, dance films. And then when you go back, you look, and then it's like, oh, let's do it with like a black guy and a white girl or something or some shit. And then eventually just sends like all white people. Just get the white guy that can dance, fucking Channing Tatum or some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
But
it goes really across every genre. And then what happens is that when a bunch of black people do it and it's successful, you turn around and go, right, how can we give this to a white market and get more money off of it? And that's what my fear is of saturation, because that's what always happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it to get rinsed out and then it dies out before we get a chance to even live with it for a little bit. Oh, no one don't want to see that no more. They're tired of it.
Yeah. But I think with Black Panther, like because he's so instrumental in the Marvel universe, because he's the richest, like, superhero.
Yeah. He's the richest motherfucker anywhere, fam.
He's the richest.
What,
he's
Batman
richer than
who?
Batman.
What? Tony Stark who? What?
Yeah, he's richer than Tony. Like, he's richer than...
He's richer than everyone, fam. He's the richest, fam.
So it's like he's funding everything. So you know what I mean? He's funding shields. He's funding technology. He's funding everything. So it's just like, we need him. We need to keep him as he is, because anyhow they change him, it's an issue. Issue for sales.
I think they would implement him in a lot more things now, both on film and in the comics as well. But I think they're gonna go forward with the changing of characters in all the Avengers films. You got contracts running out, actors that don't want to play there.
I was gonna ask you lot, being as you've seen the film, no spoilers, do you think that going forward, especially with the shift in casting characters and stuff like that, that now that Black Panther's kind of come at this whole phase 4 beginningness or whatever, that he will be one of like the front runners, the leader? Obviously, my man rich, my man has technology, my man can fight. He's mixed in with these Avengers now. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be the one that's going to be front, because obviously in the comics, man's one of the most powerful. Well, that's in the Illuminati and all that shit.
But that's the difference between
they're going to like do the same thing.
I think because there's a major they've changed his character to an extent where he isn't what he exactly is in the comics. It could be classed as a bit of a spoiler to say so, but I'm sure you've probably heard he isn't. He's new to it, so even though he has been a Black Panther for a while, you know, as you saw in Civil War, he's just recently obviously become king. but he hasn't actually been like proper Black Panther like we see in the comics for a long time. So I think a lot of what we see in the comics, where he's very intelligent, he's very strategic, you know, he's very hard to beat. He's like kind of Batman-esque in the type of sense where prep time or whatever time he can mash up anyone basically.
Yeah.
They don't really, obviously it's a first film for him, so it doesn't really portray the same character. You know what I mean? So I think he will be in the forefront. I think he will be, but I think you're gonna have characters like possibly Captain Marvel coming back, and she'll probably be the one who leads the new team.
I was gonna say,
I have a feeling I'm gonna hate her, but whatever.
I was gonna say, like I watched an episode of, I don't know why. I think I watched it because Hercules was in it. But you know the Avengers cartoons that's on now.
Yeah.
One of the new episodes.
Nope. Don't watch it.
Don't waste your time. But anyway, I don't know where like Captain America and Iron Man have disappeared to, but right now it's like it's Ant-Man and Wasp, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel, and throughout this episode, Captain Marvel and Black Panther were arguing over who the leader of the team was. So I don't know if, like, I know it's a cartoon. The cartoon usually follows the movies, that follows the comics, or it used to be that way. But I don't know if they'll do something similar like that, where it'll be Captain Marvel. Say Captain Marvel will be the Captain America, and Black Panther will be the Iron Man of
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
so then,
they could,
when it comes to it, when they want to do Civil War 2, basically,
and swap out Black Panther for Iron Man.
Just quickly, we've got a question in the chat. So the question: Why do you think this was so successful compared to Spawn and Blade? And in fact, a better question: would this have been? What's that? In fact, would be if this was released back then. Would it be so big as it is now?
Right. Let me tell you this. Go ahead.
I think one, because Spawn and Blade isn't really those, like the thing with Black Panther. Like
Josh, you're too loud. Go on.
The thing with Black Panther is that he is a king. He's a very powerful king. He's got wealth behind him. He's very smart. They're very advanced. And also they're in Africa itself. They're in the motherland. So I think the way that it's portrayed, back then, I don't think it would have
resonated as
much. If they did it, they probably would have did it where he's from Africa, but he's come to the States. And you know, he's like Eddie Murphy's character in Coming to America, where he, you know.
I think another thing is like timing as well. So, timing in the sense of the amount of stuff that's happened in America since, like, I mean, that's always been going on, but that's because of things like the internet and Twitter and Facebook. It's like in our faces where we're seeing certain things. And you know, we need a hero too. You know what I mean? I think that has been a big factor as to why it's become so popular. And also, we were just talking about whenever there are black movies, it's usually, I'm not calling this a black movie, but you know what I mean, whenever we're the focal point.
Nah, it's a black movie. It's a black movie. That shit's
whenever we're the focal point, it's like you were a slave, or you're a criminal or a drug dealer or whatever.
Yeah, but comparing it to Spawn and Blade, I think Blade did well. I think it really did do well back in the days. Spawn didn't really do well because it should have, but it wasn't at the time. The comics were big, but it weren't very big. Like, a lot of people didn't know it. And creator.
Let's get to the most important fact of life: is in the 90s, comic book films were shit. No film. There wasn't like some white person film. Like, did you go and see Captain America in the cinema in the 90s? Did you go and watch anything in the cinema in the 90s? No.
Blade came out.
Blade literally was one of the most successful comic book movies. Think about it. Comic book films were shit back then.
Yeah, they were.
They were shit. Like, can you even name any from back then? If it's Spawn and Blade.
Meteor Man.
Batman. Meteor Man was a joke though. Even though I love that film, but obviously it's a parody in it. It's not a real superhero film.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a comic book.
Ninja Turtles, and even then, Ninja Turtles. Yeah, the good one came out in the in the early 90s, and then they just kept getting shitter and shitter. Yeah. So even in the 90s, it's not like a thing where, woo, like if we got a Black Panther movie, it would be thing. Why did we have to wait 10 years or whatever? Comic book movies have been shit. And obviously, now, riding the time, even if you think about it, if a Black Panther movie came out at the beginning of the MCU, do you think it would have been as successful as it is now?
Yeah, probably.
No, because there's a hype around all the MCU movies. Exactly.
Yeah. And I think
Disney's been very clever in building it up, and having it now has been the perfect time to do it, because it's built it up and it's made it get the attention that it was meant to get. Even like all the stuff that they've done, they've been conscious of the decisions that they've been making. You know what I'm saying?
They have been trying to get this off the ground for quite a few years as well, because there was a time when, the time when Blade was coming out. Why am I blanking on his name?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. He was in the running to actually be Black Panther. Right?
Yeah, he was.
I think he was going to direct it or write it or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're right. It's totally different time now.
Yeah.
Comic book movies at the moment is way different than it was 20 years ago.
Yeah. But I think as well, it's like back in the day, it was a niche thing, and I think they made comic books for us. I mean, they made films back then for us, like in terms of Blade is Blade. Like there's no little sprinkle of he's Blade in his film. Spawn is Spawn. Like it's, even though the film was terrible, but I love it because it's so bad. But the guy who plays the clown is fucking brilliant. Like I love it. But I love that film. But then you had the animated series that was just great, and it hurt my soul when it got cancelled. I was really upset. But back in the day, I think they made it for, like, they stuck so closely to the comics or the animated series.
Yeah,
it was like, we're not pulling people because it's like, why are we not pulling numbers? Like, because it's only us that's gonna watch it, and we're like, we're small little tribe groups, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And I think as well, what you're saying about timing. In terms of obviously our community as Black people, we're at a point now where we're like, where do we come from? We have this kind of like ethos of like, you know what I mean? I need to find, you know what I mean? So I connect with other people within my community who are on that same wavelength. And it's just when Black Panther dropped like that, and they had that kind of that integral foundation in it. It was just like, this resonates properly. Whereas Blade kind of resonated with Black people. It's like, I can, you know what I mean? I can be a vampire too. Because you know what I mean? You've been having vampire movies forever, but then you were like,
it's true.
I don't, connect with all of you pale face people. We're not like that. We're spicy. And then Blade came out. I was like, this is what we're like if we're vampires.
Yeah, I remember the first time I actually saw Blade was Spider-Man the animated series. So then he was in a few episodes of that, and then when I found out that they were doing a movie, and he was just so on. Wesley Snipes was just so on point with what he did, and I was just like, that was, to me, that's when I became a fan of the cartoon. It was
it's coming back, right?
What, the Blade?
Yeah. I think the guy he did the stunts for Black Panther, he's either doing Blade, he's either gonna be Blade, or he's training someone else up to do Blade. Because he keeps dropping stuff on his Insta, as in like vampires beware, and I'm like, he's either Blade or he's training someone else to be Blade. So I think Blade's coming back. I heard
Wesley Snipes was in talks with Marvel to.
I think do it, because no one else can do it. It's like Hancock's a horror. That's bad. I'm sorry, I brought that up. I'm sorry, that was a momentary lapse of strippiness. Let's move on. But
I don't think. I don't think if Black Panther came out back then, I don't think it would do as well, and it would be basically how what Rich said.
Yeah.
If it would be, there would be no Wakanda. We'd probably see 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes of the movie of Wakanda, and then he'd be in America. I don't know. Basically with Captain America or Iron Man or no, you know, if they didn't want to put, you know, if they couldn't afford to put other superheroes in it, he would just be chasing Claw around. Is it Claw? He'd just be chasing Claw around America. Claw would be the villain. Killmonger wouldn't even be the villain.
I think it's a sweet tragedy that Marvel didn't have their 3 top kind of groups like X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man. Obviously, Spider-Man by now, but like because they had to think, even though they were like, you lot think, you know, you've got the best groups, but you haven't even touched the surface yet of all of our comic book characters. But then they had to think out of the box of just like, all right, how do we now integrate everybody else? Because only hardcore fans that are going to know about everybody else properly. You know what I mean? It's just like, how are we going to market them well and do films well around them? You know what I mean? They tried Daredevil and all them other ones, and you know, that was heartbreaking. But I really want to do to do Spawn. Please.
You want to do a Spawn?
Please,
you're
not
Marvel
me.
to do Spawn.
I want them to buy him and do Spawn, please.
I don't think so.
Please, because the best thing about that film, apart from the clown, sorry, tiny tangent. Best thing about that film was when obviously everybody does it, every like superhero or whatever, when he's standing there and his cloak was in the wind. It's just like the greatest scene ever. But the special effects were so rubbish. But it was amazing.
We waited a long time for that. Like Marvel buying Spawn.
Please buy Spawn. Disney Dark.
There is something on YouTube where it does show they do a flashback and they rewatch Spawn, and it's pretty interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
You know,
we miss you, Spawn.
To the review now.
Yeah,
we're reviewing
this movie. Okay.
Time is we love to go over time, boy. Oh my day.
Anyway.
That's what I was just gonna say. I hope he answers your question. Whoever asked that question.
Yeah. Thank you for the question.
I kind of got. I wanted to go into it more and answer a bit more, but sorry, not enough time.
Yeah. I know. Okay.
But anyway.
Spoilers. If you haven't watched Black Panther yet, bye. We'll see you in a minute. Okay.
Well, where should we start? So, did everyone enjoy it? What do you all think?
Yes.
I loved it. I straight loved that movie. I can't remember how it started now.
No. How did it start?
Oh, no. Sorry. It started with Black Panther's dad and his uncle.
No. It started with the narration, actually.
Yes, of the kings, of how they came to be and what they did. And yes, and that was like beautifully sad because it was like, they built up this great civilization. No, it was the meteor that came into the earth and then struck down, and then they made the flower, and then this flower gives powers to whoever drinks it, and he brought the tribes together, the civilizations, and they came together and became the Black Panther. But then they isolated themselves because obviously they didn't want anybody to get their technology and the meteor flower and all of that stuff. And then, but in doing so, they let all the other Black people get taken, and bad things happen to people within the continent and around the world, and they just kept themselves to themselves because they wanted to keep the culture and the technology. And then
yeah.
So that's the synopsis. Oh my days.
I like the film.
Even when I first watched it, I thought that was actually Chaka telling the story, but I actually think it was at what's Eric's father. Actually,
that makes more sense. Actually.
Yeah, to him.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what makes it even more kind of like heartbreaking in a sense.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah.
He was telling his son, his son's growing up in New York. His son, Killmonger, growing up in New York. We know what it was like, where it's like in certain neighborhoods in New York, and he's like,
and they're actually from, they're not from New York.
Were they not from New York?
No, they're from. Where are they from? They're from Boston, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Boston.
That's because Ryan Coogler's from there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Yeah.
He's from
Boston.
there, and
Okay.
I think it's Boston. I'm just double checking that, but carry on.
Yeah,
I was gonna say even
in
Boston.
America.
I know Boston. Yeah. I know Boston. I know certain parts of Boston is no joke.
Mm.
You know, I know a lot more about the US map than I do the UK map, only because I listen to hip hop.
As long as you know about Oakland.
Anyway, so I know
Oakland.
So I know Boston's no joke, and obviously he's growing up there, and we know what it's like. And to have your dad tell you, son, I came from somewhere so magical, but like the technology is just greater than anything you've ever seen. You know, it's just the most beautiful place you'll ever see. Just, you know, hyping up this fantasy. And then your dad dying by these people that he's been growing up to be told that are amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Can we just talk about that scene where like my man goes to the door and he's like, there's like two bull chicks outside. He's like, because they won't knock twice.
They ain't gonna knock twice. They're not gonna knock twice.
And then they came in, and then they were talking, and then man just lowered the lip, and I was like, okay, and then he was just like tap tap with the spear, and then it went dark, and then man was there, and I was like, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah. If you're gonna get any type of, if you're gonna embody a Black Panther, and then in like just embodying the characteristics of a cat, having that kind of stealth, that smooth stealth, and then you layer it with like just black smoothness. It's great. So yeah, carry on as you go.
And actually, the T'Chaka, you see how young he looks, and he looks exactly like the
yes.
I heard that was his actual
That's his son. Is his son really called Denzel Whitaker?
No, is it? I don't think it's the son. I think the guy who plays Whitaker's character. Okay, I think that's who. But they're not related.
Yeah, I know, but it's like the names.
We got to be extra. We got to be extra.
I really hope he becomes famous. That would be so sick.
Yeah, it was.
That's hilarious. That's too funny. That is too funny. But yes.
But anyway, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, so I think that whole intro was pretty dope, and it was it's like I think halfway through the film I was like, but wait, what was all that thing at the beginning about then? And then just as I thought that's when
full circle.
Yeah. I like the way they did that.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was someone who just escaped or one of his spies.
Yeah.
And then when he comes in, he's saying, he's your brother, blah blah blah. Yeah. I never thought that that the boy downstairs was his actual son.
Yeah, because it was just this kid looking up.
Broke my heart. That broke my heart.
I thought it was just a kid in the street
and he was like,
it doesn't show him going in the building. He's just looking up like.
Yeah, but it makes sense because when they knocked on the door, he looked down. He went out the window to look if his son was still there. So it's pretty sick, man.
Yeah, no, and it's just that I think obviously the Killmonger, I think he's overcapsulated. Is that a word? He's kind of overshone T'Challa slightly in this film.
I think so.
He was definitely the more interesting character.
Yeah, just because I think all of us as diaspora children can relate to him so badly.
Do you know what? It would be for me, just thinking about it, it'd be really interesting to see if like our point of view of the film is different from Africa.
I was just thinking that because I was like, because you always have these conversations of what you call it? Oh, sorry, my battery's going crazy. You always have these conversations of how do people who are born and bred in Africa, how do they view us as, you know what I mean, descendants? Like, do they even view us? You know what I mean? Like, are we brothers and sisters or cousins to them, or do they just see us as non-Africans? Because to me, I'm always thinking, but I'm from this place. I just don't know which part.
Which part, which tribe.
Kind of thing. So it's mad. It's mad to think like, I I never expected to kind of really not empathize, but like really resonate with Killmonger on that level.
Yeah, I think the thing with Killmonger is I personally think. Let me have a quick think. Actually, yeah, I think he is probably the best one. I think he is the best villain because, in my opinion, I think he's better than Cottonmouth. Cottonmouth didn't have that much time anyway.
Sadly, that's going on with something different.
He's better than Loki. I think
Loki. If you compare Loki to Killmonger, Loki just comes across as spoiled. Really?
Yeah, exactly.
He's adopted. Yeah, that wasn't your dad. Yeah, so what? Yeah. But he took care of it. You were a tiny frost giant that was abandoned. They don't care about you and left there to die.
Yeah.
And this guy, a king, adopted you, raised you as your own.
Yeah.
Raised you as his own, and you were like, "Oh no, I'm not about that. I'm going to be ungrateful about it."
Yeah.
There was none of that. You actually feel for Killmonger.
Yeah. Exactly.
He was from this place that basically rejected him.
Yeah, exactly.
And who wouldn't be hurt by that?
Even that whole rejection and that whole story on that side, I think, like, there's not been any other villain in the MCU that's come close to the reason why he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like for me, I kind of compare him to Doctor Doom, and that's why I like Doctor Doom so much. It's because he's kind of like he's kind of misunderstood. You gotta listen to their story before you understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And the reasonings.
Yeah, so, I think as well as like everybody else's more or less backstory that's been put in a film. It's this, they've had a hard childhood, and I think all of them have had hard childhoods. But it's like they haven't tried to really connect with other like viewers on that level. Whereas with us, it's more of like this hit us ancestrally. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
To me, Killmonger isn't a villain. To me, he's just like an anti-hero. Because even when he got the throne, he was like, "I'm going to help the rest of my people." Like the rest of our people. He was still thinking about us. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, but no. Reason why. God.
I know you. I'd rather you go first.
I was gonna say the reason why is because he was gonna do that. He was gonna allow us to have weapons or what we need, but I think that he was wrong in the sense of trying to take over and conquer everyone else rather than actually, going the route that what's her name was actually spoke to him about. Lupita Nyong'o's Nakia.
Oh
yeah. Because when she was talking to him about actually going out and helping people rather than staying secluded, I think that was the better way to do it rather than the Killmonger. Let's go out and show everyone what we're made of and everyone up.
He would. Although I see him as the villain because he clearly was. I just understood him. I understood where he was coming from, and I understand his reasons why he wasn't just this evil. I'm going to take over the world, or I'm just going to destroy you for. Because I'm like that. He
had a clear reason.
And he was just. I don't want to say misunderstood. He was literally a product of his circumstance.
Exactly.
That's what he was.
Exactly.
But him going around. He was clearly versed in Black history and obviously how he grew up and whatever. And he was going to go and do what was done to Black women and other dark races, which was basically colonized. And I'm like, don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah, exactly.
I was like, no. I'm like, I'm with you, but don't do that.
Yeah. Oh, question for you.
Go ahead.
After going, finish.
I was just gonna say, go on about Killmonger. Like, what did you guys think of other characters, such as like, what did you actually think of, or Nakia, or like, what did you guys think of her?
Sorry, say that again. Sorry, you just broke up there.
Did you say
No, I asked.
Think of other characters?
Yeah, like Nakia or Okoye.
Okoye is like just greatness. She's just greatness. The mere fact, like, and it was just the subtlety of, like, obviously she had the gold rings around her neck, and all of her other Dora Milaje had like the silver one.
Yeah,
she was a proper general. Like, I just loved that, and I loved the fact that her, Nakia, Shuri, and obviously his mother, they had like a big influence of, like, not, they're like holding their own as women and really supporting T'Challa, but like not in a way that was, you know, oh, we're gonna baby you, or, you know, it's this thing of like, because I think they were saying this in an interview, it was just like, I think it their characters reaffirm that black women are for black men, you know what I mean, in terms of like, we love you lot, you know what I mean, trust us, you know what I mean, and it's like to put his like full trust in these women, and they were there
exactly,
you know what I mean, so,
I think definitely, like what you're saying, their characters portray that trust. Like, you don't have to worry, like, he didn't have to worry right at the end when they're all fighting. He didn't have to really worry about them because they can take care of themselves, in a sense, you know. Nakia, she was out there doing her secret agent stuff, you know, for a few years. She knows what she's doing.
The mere fact that your boy that kind of like fucked you over, that was just like, raw, okay, it's just like, oh, okay, you're just gonna jump on Killmonger's side, okay.
That's one bit I didn't like, actually. I didn't like that bit, how he just totally switched like that. I kind of understand where he's coming from, but I think the way that he just kind of, I think they could have put a bit more in that.
I was gonna say, as much as I love the movie, I think that bit was just written badly, because he was clearly best friends with T'Challa, and you know, married to Okoye, and some dude comes in off the street, well, not from another country, although he was born there, but not born there. Anyway, some outsider comes in, is like, hey, I've got Claw, and then he's all of a sudden he's like, I'm on your side, and then he literally, because I remember watching it like, why the hell are you, when there was the whole kind of war, I was like, why are you guys fighting each other? Again, I'm like, stop that, just talk.
That's it. I didn't like that.
That's the question, because my dad was asking, he was like, how do you think this is going to affect Wakanda now? Because my man broke the truce now of the four, like the tribes being together, the civilizations being together as one. So now you've had someone who's stepped out and like almost brought an outsider in, because you've taken the side, and you've kind of dismantled that that structure. And now obviously Black Panther's like, I'm gonna go out and do more Black Panther stuff, because I think that he doesn't want to really be king, like he just wants to be a superhero, you know what I mean?
No, I think throughout some of the comics, because he was introduced, when he first got introduced, he was kind of like a secondary character. He came on Fantastic Four, then he was on the Avengers, and it wasn't actually until later on when he actually got his own comic that he actually went back to Wakanda. So, and then later on they started doing stories about him spending so much time away and actually coming back, and that was actually a thing in the comics as well, which for what your dad was asking you, I think that's how they're going to do it, instead of him being away from Wakanda and being a superhero and hanging with the Avengers or Fantastic Four. I think what it could do is actually be like, okay, so now you've broken our tradition of being secluded. Now we're going to help the world. You've kind of broken our tradition. So I think that's going to cause different tribes and different people to think a different way about the king and whether he's fit to be king. And I think that's going to cause some problems later on down the line for part 2, maybe.
Maybe. Do you think M'Baku is going to be king, or do you think one of the women's going to take it?
One of the women, as in like his
Mrs. or his sister?
I think maybe his sister would. I'd rather her be the Black Panther than, because she was in the comics as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd rather her. I think I've been seeing some things about her being like the new Riri Williams and the new Iron Man. When I don't want that.
Yeah,
No.
I
don't want that to happen. I'd rather him maybe going over to the Avengers and doing stuff with them.
Yeah.
And his sister becomes the Black Panther.
Yeah.
But I think it's too early for that as well. Anyway.
Yeah, true.
Getting off on theory territory there.
Yeah.
What was your favorite scenes in the movie, or like one-liners?
I never fees. Even though I saw that in the trailer, but when you see that scene in context,
it's a good scene.
It's such a great scene. And go on.
No, go on. Finish. I was
gonna say that was just my favorite scene. And then when you see him go to save the, not even save, he what's he going to do there? He was basically going to get her. He wasn't trying to save anybody. And then she comes out of the truck, does her thing, and then he basically freezes. Sees Okoye later, is like, and then his sister's like, did he freeze his? It's like a deer in headlights. That was just my favorite scene, that whole bit.
No, my favorite line, would have to be colonizer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a pretty good scene. I did like that.
The thing is, there are a lot of good one-liners in there. Even what are those?
Yeah. I like that. Hey, auntie, when he came in, when Killmonger came as well.
Oh, that was real good.
Yeah,
that was subtle as well, because probably a lot of people didn't even pick up on that, but I liked that.
I was in a cinema where everyone knew.
Oh, okay.
It was packed. It was really. My favorite. I've got a couple of favorite scenes. I kind of like the casino scene. I like the way that Ulysses Claw, his character was portrayed. I like that. And I was really upset when they killed him. Actually.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I was like, "Raw, okay." They killed him.
I was really surprised.
I kind of understood it, because I was thinking, how would he get him to a? I mean, I suppose they could have did the cliche thing where he was tied up and whatever, but
I would have preferred that.
I probably would have preferred it, but I understand he was in this movie. He was basically a plot device.
Yeah,
he really was just a plot device. So I understood why they put him off.
I think I'm being selfish because I actually want to see Claw in his comic form. At least, So I would have preferred that he caught him, he captured him, took him to Wakanda, and then maybe in part 2 he'll escape or something happens, and then something happens to him, and then he becomes the Sound or whatnot.
Yeah, they could still do that. Bury him in Wakanda.
I was thinking that.
And some sort of reason his Sonic, never count out comics.
Something's gonna happen.
Comic books, man.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Stills 56 in the chat is asking what he was saying on the side of what's T'Challa's friend's name, the general. He was saying basically he's a war general that couldn't push his. He was a war general that couldn't push his agenda. So when Killmonger came, he was more inclined to be on his side.
Oh, okay.
Because Killmonger is a mercenary in a sense, really. So I think they've probably got that connection together as well. So it makes sense. Wakabi, that's his name. Sorry. Yeah, but like you said, I think it was just written wrong. I don't mind that. I just think that they could have spent a little bit more time
with that. Yeah.
With it, with that molding that scene together.
It would have been nice if they'd had like a really nice like dialogue, like one of those.
Yeah.
Like one of those like you're just sussing each other out, kind of interrogating each other, and then I don't know, maybe a little spar, and then okay, well, I'm gonna side with you. But I think it was just too short and kind of glazed over.
Yeah.
Well, when we get the Zack Snyder cut, we might get all of this extra stuff.
But it still says his best line in it was "Bury me in the ocean as my brothers and sisters knew death was better than bondage."
Yeah, I love that scene.
That line hit me.
And you know, I mean, someone else. I hate that someone else on the internet on a different show already said this, but I thought already. He could still be alive. Man just fainted.
Yeah, exactly.
He could still be alive. Because he was a way too good a character just to have him go off like that.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's what hurt me the most was okay. So when Claude died, I thought, okay, so Killmonger's gonna live, but then he lives.
Yeah.
Like, these two are pretty dope bad guys.
Yeah, and then that's it. Because
the problem with Marvel, they always killing their good bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Cottonmouth went, Kilgrave went, the Vulture's still alive. Loki's still alive. You know, Ronan the Accuser's dead, but yeah, he wasn't that good anyway.
He wasn't that good. He was the worst. It wasn't the worst, but he was like the worst.
He wasn't good. He wasn't good.
Yeah. Ronan is, don't get me started on Ronan the Accuser. But I'm in hopes that, you know, Michael B. Jordan will be in the sequel.
Yeah. And that's the thing, they're kind of the two only Black Panther villains.
Yeah, he doesn't have that much of an extensive catalogue of a rogues gallery.
Yeah. You got M'Baku, who was
the thing is,
he was sick.
I have to say about M'Baku the Man-Ape. Now, that whole thing, Mabu was saying this is, well, you know, because in the comics, he's the Man-Ape.
Yeah.
And that back in the day, I know why they changed it, because if they had him as the Man-Ape in this movie, people would have been like, oh, racist, and call him monkey. But do you know what? I love the scene where is his name Morris? Agent Morris. Is that his name?
No, Ross.
Ross. Agent Ross.
Yeah.
Like, no, he wasn't barking. He was going, oh, he's been like an ape. And it's like, they took that.
Like you said, they changed the sound to kind of like a bark.
I saw that as an ape growling. The way I saw it was an ape growling.
No, but this is what you get when you have Black people on the roster, because we think about that shit. Yeah, we don't do what H&M do. We're like, you know what? He was the Man-Ape. This is not going to fly because
but the point I was going to get to is that he was making ape noises at this dude, and getting this white dude to just shush. And it's like taking back the whole monkey insult. You know what I mean? We're gonna use that to make you shut up. And I thought that was such a great scene. Like, you will not talk in here. That was such a great scene.
Are you done?
Are you done? Are you done? That whole scene was great, and I think there's a potential of him. You know, you guys were talking about what the other tribes will think with what T'Challa's doing. I think it would be cool if M'Baku comes back again. It's like, I'm still not feeling this. I'm going to challenge you again.
I think you're right. I think it's going to branch off into the new age Wakanda and the old, because like in this, M'Baku is the old tribal traditionalist. And I think the second one they'll split. Like, some people will go over there, some people.
Why he came to the fight? Like, I wondered why he came to the battle. Like, because no, I'm not.
The thing is, he came because that was for Wakanda. Do you know what I mean? You have to look. You have to just. You can't think of like. You have to look at it as he did that for Wakanda as a whole. Some outsider has come out and he's causing disarray. Now that that's happened, now that all of that is fixed, and now T'Challa's come out and said, "Hey, I'm going to give everyone else our stuff as well." That could be where M'Baku's like, "No, I don't agree with that. Yeah. This is ours. We should keep this. They've done nothing but rape and pillage us for years. Why should we give this out?" Yep. But getting into Fury territory, I just love that scene where his character was just portrayed really, really well. I even loved it when he came on scene where nobody wanted to challenge T'Challa, and he comes in and he's like, "I'm doing this."
Intro.
Yeah. I just loved it, and love that.
Even the small things in this movie, like when Nakia was driving without no shoes on. And
yeah.
Little things like that. I'm just like, oh, you just captured just the blackness of what we do on a daily basis. Just, even if we were superheroes, like it's just these are the shits that we do. Like,
I like the way he threw that guy on the road and she ran him over and she's like, what was that?
What was that?
Don't worry about
it.
Just drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that car chase scene was good. I did enjoy it. But one pet peeve about this film is the VFX, CGI. I wasn't really happy with it. Like with the rhinos, the last fight, and some of that car fight as well. I wasn't really happy with the CG on that. I think it was just a bit too smooth, and you know, it didn't really look that good to me. Yeah. I think that's one of my major gripes with it.
I think mine would be like, you know what I was saying before about obviously because the story was so good.
Yeah.
Like the fight, like I loved the fight scenes. Don't get me wrong, they're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
But I'm used to that. Like I said, the Winter Soldier, deep, like close combat. Like because Winter Soldier fight scene to me, it's just the best. Like it's so intricate kind of thing, and I think hopefully in the next movie they'll be able to do that. If
hopefully, definitely.
I
think that's what
kill everybody, but anyway.
I think that's what makes a good fight scene as well. When you got that close combat choreography. I think that's what makes a really good fight scene. I weren't really that impressed with the fight by the tracks.
Okay.
Yeah. Every time it moved to that, I was a bit like, ooh.
The train was very distracting. Like I understood.
Yeah.
It went with the story, but like I was kind of hoping that at one point they would be fighting and then they burst into the train and then it's just.
Oh,
you know
right.
What I mean? You know what I mean? I think then you would have been able to have more fight time. But again, they wanted to make the story more poignant. So kind of like, I'm fair enough. You didn't, take that up. But it was really, really,
I'm real huge on like fight scenes in movies, especially good choreography.
Yeah.
So I love a good fight scene. And when they did the bit with the train, I found it really, really distracting.
Yeah, I did as well. Yeah.
And someone made a point. They completely ruined it for me when they compared it to the fight in with Spider-Man and Venom in Spider-Man 3 because when they were falling, that ruined it for me. I'm ruining it for you guys out there as well.
Thanks, man. Cheers. Thanks, man.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. I only have a few. There were bits of it that I found predictable as well, like that fight that he had with T'Challa had with Killmonger. You know, where you've watched movies for as long as you live.
Yeah.
You know he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
There's no way he was gonna win that fight.
What, the one in the waterfall, right?
The one in the waterfall where Killmonger comes and he's challenging him for the throne.
Yeah.
And then basically he's getting his ass beat.
Yeah.
You know he's gonna get his ass beat because
it was a good callback to one of the comics as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's just that you knew it was going to happen. There was something else that I found really, really predictable. I can't remember now. I wish I wrote notes, but I was too excited to watch it at the time. But it was like two minuscule things that I found predictable about the movie, and everything else I enjoyed. Regarding the VFX and the CGI, this is probably because
you still enjoyed it. Yeah,
I was going to say this is probably because you're like a filmmaker that you notice these things. But I'm just so, unless it's really bad, like really, really bad, I'm just so engrossed in how good it was.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't that bad.
On the scenes, you know what I mean? Like getting that train line great, getting the structure great. So like when you had the fight scene with T'Challa and Killmonger in the suits, it was like this is slightly off. Or like when the car chase was going, you were like, okay, that car scene is slightly off, but we know where the money went. It's fine. It's good.
Random question, and his name is not. What's his name again? The CIA agent.
Everett Ross.
Is he the new Agent Coulson?
No, he was in. He was actually in. Yeah, he probably is actually in.
No, I just noticed he's out there doing all the stuff that Coulson used to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And
but he's actually in Christopher Priest's run of Black Panther. He was called the Client. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think there was a bit he said. He mentioned the Client or something in. I think it was in the casino scene.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so he's actually a decent character in the comics.
All right, cool. I was just wondering, in terms of the MCU, is he the new Coulson? Because
he could be, because Shuri said that he was a pilot as well.
Yeah,
and I think it was. I can't remember what another thing I was watching. They did the calculations of how old the actor is, and going back to Captain Marvel based in the 90s, so he would be in his he would actually be in his 20s, so it wouldn't be surprising if the character Everett Ross is actually in Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, see,
next year. So he could have because she said that he was a pilot, and he was piloting
the ship. Yeah. I liked that scene where he was piloting the ship. He came through for them. He really did.
What do you think of the heart-shaped herb and the mystical side of things?
That was done pretty well, because I remember I was watching Us Mightiest Heroes the other day. Is that what the good cartoon is called? Yeah.
Yes.
And there was a scene where Black Panther is in Avengers Mansion, but like on the rooftop, and he's got his own. Apparently, he set up his own little kind of greenery bit.
Yeah,
and he's taking the heart-shaped fruit, and Hawkeye's like, what is that? He's like, this gives me my strength and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
It's can I have some? It's like, you could, but this will kill you.
Yeah.
But I liked that they had the little plants. They had little garden in Wakanda as well.
Yeah.
He would to take that. They bury him. He has his little his visions.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, and then he's spoken to other Black Panthers, or in his case, his dad, and then he's ready to be the Black Panther. I think that was really well, actually.
I've got a theory. Right, so with the heart shape,
you say Lion King, I'm gonna hit you.
Like no. So with the heart shaper, like in the comics, he takes the heart shaper to have his powers.
Yeah.
But he's also the king of Necropolis as well. He's basically the king of the dead as well. I can't remember. I think that was Jonathan Hickman's. I can't remember actually whose run it was. But he became the Lord of the Dead, basically.
Yeah.
So he goes to Necropolis, and he can go back and speak to the dead Panther gods. And all the Panther gods that's died, he can go back and speak to them and get advice from them. And I think with what they've done in the film, they've done it with the heart-shaped herb. You can eat it, and then you go back and you see the dead souls or the lost souls.
Yeah.
Which is why Killmonger, when he ate it, he went back to his apartment where his father was.
That was sad.
That was really sad. That was really sad. But I think that the Soul Stone is probably buried within the vibranium, which is fueling the earth. And when he eats it, it's part of the souls that when he eats it, it goes back to the soul world or the astral plane.
Yeah.
That would explain why the Chikari. I can never say that.
Yeah. Well, it's not the Chikari. It's what they call it.
I was going to say Shi'ar. I almost said Shi'ar. Wrong. Aliens. So many aliens in the Marvel universe.
I know.
Is it the Chitauri?
It's not the Chitauri. The Chitauri was in the first Avengers.
Yeah. Wasn't that who...
No, in Infinity War, it's... I can't remember the name of them. They got... They got a name. I can't remember the name of them.
They got a name.
Outriders, that's it. The Outriders.
Oh, okay.
Never heard that one before. Do you know actually one thing I liked? The first time T'Challa went to see his dad,
Yeah.
How there was like more than one Black Panther there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And his dad
and
jumped.
Men and women as well, which
Yeah,
is
no, yeah. Then,
no, there wasn't. I don't think there were women there actually.
No, there was.
Was there?
She was on the she was on the right hand side of Chadha's dad, and she had like like how his mum has a crown thing.
Yeah.
That as well, and I was
okay,
cool.
Singled her out. I was like.
Nice.
I was just gonna say I just liked how there were different Black Panthers there, and then and then one jumps off the tree, and that one happens to be his dad. It made me think, who else is there? Do you know what I mean? I really liked that scene.
Yeah, I really like that as well.
It was really well done. The subtle little details like that I really like in films or comics or whatever, and that was just a nice little, not Easter egg.
I wonder if when they bury Killmonger. Will he be forever lost in the apartment with his father, or would that mean him coming home? I think that would be him coming home, because he even said that his father told him stories about the sunset, which is why he brought him up to the mountain.
The thing is, simply for the fact that he was king of Wakanda, he was the Black Panther as well, because he took the herb.
Yeah.
When he dies, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be with all the other Black Panthers. That's what I think, because it wouldn't make any sense for him to be anywhere else.
By himself, but at least he'll be with his ancestors.
Because the thing is, regardless if you're a good king or you're a rubbish king or a good queen or a crap queen, if you're in my theory, if you were a Black Panther and they have a specific place that they go, you're gonna go there. I doubt there's like a Black Panther hell. Do you know what I mean? So I'd imagine he'd end up with all the others, like with T'Chaka and.
I hope that kind of resets it for him and his uncle, his dad, and I hope that his dad gets to go with him, because that just seems, it just breaks my heart if his dad stay in the flat.
He's lost.
The
lost soul.
They're separated. I'm sorry to break your bubble. They're separated. Yeah, he was king of Wakanda. He was Black Panther. What's he doing in the flat for? Sorry, man. Life is hard, man.
It was great. If you haven't seen Black Panther, you just go and see it. Like, just go and enjoy, immerse yourself.
Definitely. Do you think they'll ever do the Illuminati now as well?
I think they've got. How many of the characters have they got to do that? They've got 3 of them, haven't they?
Yeah, Iron Man, Captain America.
Because I was thinking that, you're in a movie and you're Captain America.
He was, but then he was kind of erased. He was a whole Jonathan Hickman thing.
All right. Well,
I was thinking. Yeah, go on.
I was just thinking that they've got 3 of them, regardless of Captain America or not. They've got at least 3 of them to start that little
group. Yeah, I think maybe Captain Marvel will probably be in it as well when she comes.
Yeah, it would be an interesting thing if there was. It would be an interesting thing for them to do. I couldn't see a reason why is the thing, unless they were to do an actual Planet Hulk.
I think maybe after Infinity War they will do like Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Black Panther, and probably Captain America as well. I think they will probably bring up something where they look out for each other, kind of thing. It's probably in Infinity War anyway. I think that would actually.
I cannot wait for Infinity War. I'm already looking for tickets. I'm like, is it on? Is it on yet?
It's not out yet.
But if you were to give like Black Panther a score out of 10, what would you guys give it?
Ooh.
Or should I make it a score out of 5?
Out of 5, I'll give it 4. 4.99 nerds, man.
All right.
Yeah, no. There's like the nerd score.
I'm so anti-nerd score, but go on.
I know, but you have to incorporate fight scenes, like what do you call it? CGI, whatever.
Yeah. I think that's the
4.99999.
No, honestly, I say 4.5.
All right. What about you, Isha? The same?
Me, personally, out of 5.
Yeah.
is I have to give it a 5.5. Like I have to give it a 5. Like I just have to. Like
okay.
Yeah. Like yeah. My nerd score is a 9, but my Isha score is like 5.
Okay. I'd probably give it a straight out of 5 or 4.
Yeah.
Really?
Because no movie for me is that perfect.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it real. No movie for me is that perfect. But this one was great and I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna see it again on Monday. So and I'll probably see it a good couple times after that. And it was a great movie, but 4 is good enough.
Yeah. I think what ruined it for me was the quick switch of the best friends, the visual effects.
Yeah.
And there was one other scene as well that I can't really remember.
Yeah, there was one crazy predictable scene that I saw, which I can't remember where it was, and I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, killing of the villains upset me as well.
Yeah, if you was to kill one, okay, not both.
Not both, yeah.
That's why you're not getting a 5. But the clothing, the scenery, the characterization, the music, which I will be buying that soundtrack.
They definitely need to win the Oscar for that for the clothing. Costume design.
I don't think Black Panther's getting that.
With Star Wars in terms of best costume, something's wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think, and I'm not being, because I would love it, but I just don't think that Black Panther is getting those kind of awards.
Yeah,
but we all know why. Just leave it there.
We need to. Like, I really hope one day a comic book movie wins an Oscar. Like, I really hope one day, like, because
no stupidness as well, like Suicide Squad.
No. It's blasphemous. Stop that. Like, no, I think realistically, in terms of longevity, I think Star Wars should have won one years ago.
Yeah.
I think one, they should put one in the roster at least once, because I'm just like, rah. What do we have to do? Like,
yeah, for real.
What do we have to do?
This one would, if there was a comic book movie that does deserve an Oscar, even if they're not going to give it for Best Picture, costume design alone.
Yeah.
And you're not going to give it for visual effects, because there are people that are complaining about the CGI. But soundtrack, costume design, you know what I mean? Even maybe, is there a Best Actor in that movie? I haven't seen all the other movies, so I won't give it Best Actor. But definitely costume design or soundtrack.
Yeah,
one of those two. Definitely.
Just before we leave, actually, I'm just going to quickly run down some good Black Panther titles to read, recommendations. So yeah, Black Panther: The Man Without Fear. That was issue 513 to 523. That was after the Shadowland issue of Daredevil. So basically, he's strapped off his throne, his powers, his vibranium, and it's just him. He's taken over Hell's Kitchen because Daredevil Matt Murdock's died.
Okay.
So that's a decent one. Jungle Action, issue 6 to 18. That's called Panther's Rage. That was actually the first time they've went back to Wakanda. Yeah. And it wasn't just T'Challa with the Fantastic Four or the Avengers. So yeah, it kind of deepens the mythos of the Black Panther and cementing his legacy. Black Panther Volume 3, issue 18. That's Killmonger's Rage. Yeah. And that's with the scene of him throwing him over the waterfall. That's the scene in that comic. The Client by Christopher Priest. That's Black Panther issue 1. I think that was volume 4. Volume 3. 1 to 5. The Client. That's introduces Everett Ross.
Okay.
Priest was he kind of brought back Black Panther to the mainstream as well.
Okay, cool.
So, and he kind of bridges the gap between the African culture and the mythos of the Black Panther for predominantly white readers. Yeah. So and he introduces the Dora Milaje as well. Black Panther Volume 4, Issue 1 to 6. Who is Black Panther? That one shows his personal history, the death of his father, and how Wakanda informs him as a person and as a hero. And it also introduces how him and Storm met each other. And
great story.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run. And that was just after Christopher Priest's run. They've also got an animated film of that run as well that you should check out. One of my friends
have watched that. It's supposed to be it's like one of those kind of comic animated
moving comics.
Moving comics. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good. And it's supposed to be really
it is pretty dope. It is really dope.
And the viewers, check that out.
Definitely check that out. Also check out Black Panther issue 39 to 41. I think that one's volume 4 as well. That was during the secret invasion of Earth by the Skrulls. So that it kind of says, as you know, Wakanda's never been overtaken. So they've never been conquered either. So the Skrulls coming to Earth and trying to take over Wakanda that was a pretty good story, and it's from Jason Aaron as well. So it's pretty deep. Enemy of the State, that's another Christopher Priest run. He uncovers a plot from the US to try to undermine him and replace the current regime, the Wakanda regime, and try to take control of the country.
Didn't Will Smith do
it? Enemy of the State, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was
he trying to tell us something?
No, he was literally an enemy of the government because he knew too much.
Yeah.
That was what that was. By accident as well. Anyway.
So and just a couple bonus ones. Black Panther, the Bride, issue 14 to 18, the Bride of Panther. That's the actual story of him and Storm getting married. Also check out Jonathan Hickman's Infinity run, Time Runs Out, and Secret Wars as well. That's the Necropolis and Black Panther with the Infinity Gauntlet as well.
Nice.
Crazy. Yeah.
Sweet. Amazon's or Dora Milaje? I'm ready to leave, but not yet.
You know what? I love the Amazons. Do you know what? Comic books. I'm gonna give it to. Comic books, Amazons, because I know I've seen the comic book Amazons.
Yeah.
Live action, and I'm a martial artist.
Dora
Milaje, straight up. I would love to do like a year's worth of training. Whatever those actors did for a year, I want to do that for a year.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I would love to hear the backstory of the Dora Milaje. Like, where they come from, how they came to be.
That would be a sick, like a mini issue comic, 6 issue mini, 6 issues or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty.
That was it, guys. That was issue 10, which went way over. So I hope you got a nice taste of geekery or nerd or however you identify yourself.
Yes, sir.
That was a special treat for you. So yeah. But thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, comment, talk to us. We're on Insta, Facebook,
Twitter,
all of that. SoundCloud, iTunes, all of that good shit. Dasourcewall.
Comment on the YouTube as well.
Yeah, comment on the YouTube and like the YouTube. And you've got independent, Instas and stuff, which you probably already know of. So hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up.
We'll talk some of that geekery with you. Yeah.
Every Wednesday, 7:30ish. We're gonna see you.
7:30. We're professionals. 7:30 every Wednesday.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot.
Bye.